Alright, hello and welcome to another live stream. Yeah, you're totally mostly in front. Come lean in a little bit.
No, not lean in, sit back.
Well, yeah, exactly. Hello and welcome back to another live stream, Wednesday live stream, October 6th, our first and probably only live stream in October because the next one will be on the 20th and I will be up all holiday during that time, so I don't know that I'd be able to do a live stream. If I can, it would be impromptu, so we'll see. But I hope you guys are all doing well. I've got my wonderful friend Flo here. Tonight, what are you working on, Alan?
I'm working on my little Hollow Knight here.
Now, this little guy it was a 3D print, right?
Yes.
So, you got this one printed on the resin 3D printer.
Yes.
4K, I believe?
I don't think this one was the 4K one.
Oh, really? It's
no,
very
save that for fun.
He looks so cute. If you guys have never played Hollow Knight, it is basically the best. Oh, I see what happened. Okay, there you go. Sorry about the double mic. That should be better. Still figuring all this to work correctly because I'm actually just not very good at it, to be honest. But anyway, so let's say hi to everybody in the chat and see what you guys are working on, and then we can go over some Iron Kingdoms lore since I've read through Requiem. Now, I was taking notes because I've read through Requiem a few weeks ago now, and now I'm just trying to remember it all. So, Austin, welcome to the chat. Hello, appreciate you being here. Sorry about the echo, guys. War Budgies, welcome. I'll see you in a couple weeks. Joshua Rensing, hello. Finished my group's second session of the IKRPG Requiem last weekend. Nice. You enjoying it so far? It's a blast. Good. Good. I'm glad to hear. That's awesome. Haven't had a chance to play yet. Yeah, neither have I. Let's see. Austin, I bought an apartment in Vancouver, Washington. I'm sad to leave my little meta. Let's see. Jeremy, hey everyone. I was supposed to be playing Traveler tonight, but the military changed my plans. Sorry, man. Well, at least you're here.
We'll do that.
At least you're here among friends. Let's see. War table is always an option if you like playing with pogs. Let's see here. Who else have we got? Paul, thank you as always for moderating my humble chat. Let's see. By the way, I picked up Fallout's Frank Horrigan the other day. It's a nice model. Nice.
I look forward to seeing it.
Horrigan was a great boss in Fallout 2. I think he was Michael Dorn, aka Worf from Star Trek The Next Generation. Oh my. Yeah, so War Budgies, you're gonna have your Fallout stuff, right?
You better, because I can't get any here.
The Plunder Den, welcome to the chat. Bills, welcome. Hello, Peoples and Cadorans. Clan F8L, howdy, welcome. Mac Attack, hello. Alfonso, sorry about the echo, but thank you for joining us. CJ, hey man, how's it going? Let's see. And I think we are just about caught up. CJ, I've been charged with building terrain for my game store as of late. It's always good. War Budgies, came for the lore, stayed for the flow painting, working on some Riot Quest on this end. Yay! So many people like Riot Quest, I really should give it a shot. I'll have to actually play it at Valhalla this year. That and I guess some more Caster. Thunder Den, I am working on a sugarcane windmill this week. Ew, that sounds interesting. Nice. War Budgies, yep, Fallout will be there, Warcaster, and War Machine in the box. And some random painting projects. Well, we do have Jason from Monument Miniatures, which is split off from Creature Caster way back when. And so he'll be there and have a paint station set up. So I imagine
that's
lots
good to know.
Yes. So lots of hobbying can be happening in addition to actual games. So
yeah, for those of us who hobby more often.
yes. Paul, once Horrigan is painted up, I'll send you a pic. Yay. Let's see. But yeah, what are you guys all working on tonight? So obviously we got Flo working on her little guy. I've been delved into the IKRPG world and enjoying me some lore, and when I'm getting to explore the wargaming hobby. Although, random side note, bit of a random story here. Let me see if I can find it in my YouTube stuff, because I saw a video pop up, because of course there's always all this drama surrounding GW, just all the time.
Really?
Just all the time.
GW never.
I know, it's a shocker, but so there was this video that came out, and I started watching it. Hobby Night. Are you guys familiar with a channel called Hobby Night? Well, there was a video that came up, and it posted September 17th, so a little less than a month ago, a few weeks ago. 57,000 views, and it's labeled 5 Great Tabletop War Games / Alternatives to Warhammer 40k and Sigmar. None of them were War Machine. None of them. It's like, man, you're not even in the top 5 right now? We've got to do better. So I'm hoping that Requiem will help boost that, because the top 5, and I can't even fault them because they're pretty good games. Like Dust 1947 is a genuinely just fun game. The Song of Ice and Fire, I hear is a fun game. I haven't played it.
Well, you can come over and play it sometime.
Infinity is a fun game. I can't fault the Infinity community at all. They're great people. Marvel Crisis Protocol, very popular. I know a lot of people who play that one too. And Star Wars Legion. So it's like... But I still wish War Machine was at least in there. So, I don't know. GW drama. Oh, I know. Yeah, Hobby Night's the gal with glasses. Yeah, I guess so. I'd only seen like this video today because it popped up as, hey, alternative games. And I was like, what are the alternative games? Oh, nothing I played. Well, buggy. Ender, what are we painting today? Flo is painting a 3D printed miniature, 3D printed on a resin 3D printer.
I'm painting the Hollow Knight.
The little figure from the game Hollow Knight. He's so cute. Little bug, I guess.
He's a bug.
Yeah. I just packed up my painting stuff. Ooh, nice. More budgies. I picked up Riot Quest because a friendly local game store did a ton of privateer stuff on hella clearance last week. The models are kind of fantastic. Yeah, no, I no faulting in the models for sure. By the way, is CCAT still waiting for PP? To my understanding, no. All of the lore from Requiem is without CCAT's input. And I feel like I can tell the difference. Let's see. CJ Hills, Forest, Swamps, and some skull pillars. I'll send you photos. Oh, nice. GW drama, because it keeps them in the spotlight. I think they just do what they do, and I feel like the fans mostly want the drama, to be honest, but, whatever. Was it one of the Dust games closed down by the company? Yeah, the board game? Because they had the board game, which is like Dust Tactics, and then a whole bunch of that stuff went on clearance, but then the actual miniature game is still alive and well. Just 1947 just shut down. They're no longer, like, completely? Am I really that behind the times? When did that happen? They're really fun. What? I mean, it doesn't stop you from being able to play the game, but still. Dust game. The war is over. Oh, wow. After a 12 years run, Dust Studios has ceased its operations. In the past couple of years, producing the beautiful miniatures and model kits that you know and love has become increasingly difficult and it is now impossible for us to continue. There are many factors that led us here. Increased costs in shipping, labor, and raw materials were the most important. Increased import taxes between several regions were another. And on top of that, the pandemic that has greatly disrupted our operations in China. I am so sad to hear that. I really enjoyed that game and that company 5 days ago. Oh gosh, what is happening in this world?
Nothing good.
Wow. Well, I'm very sad. I really liked that company. SpazTech, my local area, people are selling Warhammer to buy into Marvel Crisis Protocol. Nice. There are so many great games out there right now. There are, yes. Let's see, our store is focusing on Malifaux, 40K, and Infinity right now. Yeah, good old
I haven't done
Malifaux.
Malifaux in a while.
I haven't done Malifaux in a while either. I still have their
I'd like
app
to
on
go
my
back.
phone. I bought their app for their list building and all of that. I liked it, but
I just need to get back into it.
yeah, I gotta figure out which ones you're allowed, which model. They actually retired some of the models, so
I've got to figure out who's who and what goes with what now because I played in 2nd edition.
yeah, a bunch of stuff has changed.
Like everything has changed.
Let's see, Paul. I painted a Gene Stealer today. That was monochrome, primed black, dry brushed white. It really divided my hobby friends. Half hated it, half loved it. Monochrome, pride. Oh wow.
Hey,
Yeah, that's right. I remember you
can
showing
be
me.
fun.
No, monochrome can be really cool. Well, time to riot. For real, War Budgies. CJ, rest in peace, Dust. Never played, but the models were lovely. Oh, gosh. I always thought that Dust minis could be used for Warhammer 40k Imperial Guard. I mean, I completely agree. I guess I've only played alternative games. I was sad Blood and Plunder didn't make the list. Oh well. Fair enough. Austin, a few years ago I looked into other games to play, but none of them really captured the steampunk feel that I love. Malifaux was close, but I didn't like the card mechanics. Third edition has been a lot of fun. Yeah, no, I'm trying to remember if I have the book.
I do.
Okay.
I have 3rd edition.
Nice. We'll have to
I
bring
mean,
it
it's
with
pretty
us.
small compared to the other books. So.
Well, they consolidated a lot of the special rules, because that was the only thing that bugged me with Malifaux, was just the
so much
bajillion.
to remember.
Well, and that's coming from War Machine, where I'm like, I don't want any of this stuff to remember. This is not fun. I want to know how my army works, and I want to focus on that. So, they make a great IG list. Oh, for sure. Well, moment of silence for Dust, because honestly, that sucks. Alright, well, here we go. Resident Evil 1 tabletop game gets launched later this month on Kickstarter. I'll be getting that. The tabletop game of Resident Evil. I would give that a go. We played Resident Evil 2 at Joel's house.
Did
A
you?
year or two ago. A while ago. Yeah, we did that on the live stream.
That was a while ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago. It was real fun, though. It's good times. So...
They kept their hearing?
They kept their hearing? Yeah, no, it was a board game.
Oh, okay.
Not a video game.
Difference.
Oh, although that does remind me. Oh yeah, I do have a thing on Friday. I'm actually live streaming some video games. Just probably just one scary video game. My brothers and my cousin wanted to get together and have a Halloween themed game stream night, and so I told them I'd stream it because we've been playing Phasmophobia, which is, fair warning, I'm a coward in these games and I just scream all the time and I'm a nutcase. So if you're interested in watching that at all, I'll be streaming that on Friday. Probably around 7, but we'll see.
Keep your mic volume down.
Keep your volume down. Don't put it on headset. Yeah, that might hurt. Malifaux is adding a new twist soon. They'll have alternate sculpt models that introduce titles. Picked up one of those boxes at Gen Con a couple weeks ago. Ooh, that's right. And Origins just happened too. So, yay for things happening again. Gosh, I'm so bummed about Dust. All right, well.
Your life, it's not going away.
No, I have the menus behind me. I'm like, this game is so, I really enjoyed the, just the layout of it. It was just like a pretty easy to play game compared to so many tabletop games. Like the little mat that it comes out with the actual grid sections, but they're just like these large tile squares, whatever that format would be, instead of moving like one space per square instead of inches, or on a hex map or something. You just have these larger tiles, which is also what the Undercity game does, the Undercity board game does. And it just is like kind of a nice, easy way of just moving troops from one zone to another. And I felt like it always had a really good anachronistic feel of what you would, in a movie setting, imagine military doing. And yeah, it was fun. The little structures were fun. The missions were fun. I'm really bummed. Let's see here. Jeremy, I have some friends trying to talk me into playing a game called Free Blades. It's an interesting game. Use a bunch of dice I've never heard of. Huh. I'm not terribly familiar. Or Budgies, Flo, how much do you want to jump out at Miranda halfway through the spooky stream?
I mean,
She doesn't have to do
how
that.
much do I want to keep my hearing is really the question.
I have a movie, whatever, Scream. A movie actress Scream.
Horror film
Mhm,
scream.
mhm.
And I've sat next to her when she's had a scream that wasn't her full scream. So,
CJ, I've never played Free Blades, but those folks are everywhere. I don't think there's a con I go to they're not at. Oh, wow. War Budgies, Boker Brawl is going down. And I'm on the train back from Valhalla, one of the first privateer cons to re-emerge into the sunlight. Excellent. I got an email about the next book for Requiem. I had a few preview pages of Myrmidons. Nice. Trying to remember what I've gotten in my email. I just got all the stuff downloaded from, BackerKit, where they got it, because I have all the PDF stuff for it, which is actually really nice, because I was looking through the GM kit before I started, and they actually have a straight-up timeline of everything. Oh, speaking of, I added this. Here's the map, which they have now expanded, and I know it's very tiny. It's an enormous image, so you have to kind of, zoom in from piece to piece, but, what is it? I think Hingehold happens right around there somewhere, and then you kind of get some sense of the major kingdoms. So along here should be Kador. Little Lail is existent for now. Little Ios, although they kind of own the Bloodstone Marches now too, maybe, I guess. Protectorate is largely a ghost town. Sorry, War Budgies. Mr. Pilak, welcome. Jeremy, from personal experience, Miranda gets scared really easy. She got scared from some VR game we did. That was super lame. Oh my gosh. I just have a very active imagination, okay? So, and, it is what it is.
so she's definitely the one to take with you to haunted houses.
Oh yeah, we did that haunted house escape room here in town. So, if you're in New Mexico and you like escape rooms, there's a really, really cool one.
Called the Blackwell Manor.
Yeah, it's called Blackwell Manor at the New Mexico escape rooms. And it was actually built by people who work in the movie industry. And so the set just looks super legit that you're in. You're in this, mansion house, multiple bedrooms that come off of it. And it's haunted. And it feels legitimately haunted. They did a great job. It's not a difficult mystery. It's like a level 5 out of 10 is what they put it in, and we did it with the 4 of us, which is plenty. But man, it was spooky. Definitely love it.
It was spooky.
I see no mouse or anything to indicate here. Oh, sorry about that. I thought you could see the mouse on my screen. And yes, that map is huge. And it is nice to have a fully realized, much better map. Because the old one, it just lacked so much detail, so it's definitely nice. Let's see, I still need Miranda to play 40k Kill Team on Steam with me in co-op. It's a stick shooter, and the one achievement I don't have is playing co-op. Oh, well, we can resolve that. Easy enough. Whew. Let's see here. So, what has happened? Marnie Joe, welcome. What has happened in the world of the Iron Kingdoms now that Requiem is out? So, for those of you who don't know, the last live stream I had, I talked about, eventually, all of the happenings in the world of the Iron Kingdoms prior to Requiem launching. So, that covered the Hengehold scrolls, which are available for free to read on the Privateer Press website. And that as goes over the discussions or the prophecies of the Hermit of Hengehold, who is this crazy homeless Iosian elf who wanders the land speaking prophecy and talking about things that are going to happen in the world. And then you also see as they come to pass in the world. And so you're following mostly the Warcasters, Ashlandale Lees, I guess also, I'm trying to think of everyone else. Like Haley's like high-fiving in it. Magnus is there. Other people as well, like the King Julius and Ein Banar. The Butcher's there. Karchev's there. It's just a big,
Hoorah.
ensemble cast. That's pretty long. It's kind of a long read, but it catches you up as far as the infernal invasion and how that's affecting the world. Because way back when, humans got magic, and the cost of that was infernals coming and taking like 2/3 of all of the souls on Cain. Terrible bargain, by the way. I still feel like Thamar could have struck a better bargain. I don't think she was a very good negotiator, so ho-hum. Anyway, in Requiem, they actually defeat the infernals with heavy casualties, and now that's where Requiem takes place. The world isn't over.
Quite.
Right. A bunch of people did escape through a portal known as the Gate of Hengehold, where everybody fled off, and that's where Warcaster as a game starts off. That's where you go into the science fiction realm, and they all escape to the to the constellation of Sirius and live over there and do their thing. But back home, a bunch of stuff has changed, and that's what I'm going to go over. Paul, I need to go back to Visage too. Yeah, that game got slightly less scary, and I was really disappointed when I realized how much Visage actually had copied the new Silent Hill game that was getting developed that then got pulled, because the playable trailer for that was Visage. So it's kind of crazy. Hi guys and gals. Hey Thomas. Ender, I wish they would explore the rest of the continent instead of just focusing on the Iron Kingdoms. Well, I think that's kind of where we're starting. Well, you want to start where everyone's familiar. There's a couple of reasons for that, in my view, Ender. One is they needed to relaunch the game to be compatible with Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, which I just got the player's handbook for the other day, so I have some...
Finally!
So I can catch up on that too. But, and so the Iron Kingdoms is the most fleshed out of the whole world, and so if you're going to introduce people to it, instead of maybe shoving too much new stuff in there, put in a lot of the information that you already have. So you've got your map, you've got your kingdoms drawn out, you know the royal lineage going on with each of those kingdoms, you have some sense of the geopolitical situation, because there's enough changing just to go to 5th edition at all anyway. And so there's that. But they are talking about Zoo already, and I do think that from here we are going to finally be able to explore the rest of the continent, and maybe even find out like what happened to the Yorgoth, for example. Hey Melinda, welcome to the chat.
Hi, Melinda.
Let's see. War Budgies. Hermit of Hengehold comes stumbling out of the smoke, just going, the hills! They stole the hills! Briefly on break at work. Oh, well, thanks for visiting while you're on break, Thomas. Warcasters assemble. Yeah, so Warcasters is its own thing. It takes place many, many years in the future after the war with the Infernals. Thomas, Servant of Nero, has fabulous videos on the kingdoms of, on the Iron Kingdoms on lore. Yes! I actually just started listening to his stuff, so that was, and you know, it always sounds great in a British accent, so. There's no lawyers on the Iron Kingdoms, that's why Thamar made such a bad deal. Well, that's the thing, as far as I could tell when they designed the Infernals, they just made a lawyer faction, like, what they imagine the stereotypical cartoon lawyer to be is the entire faction of Infernals. I don't know. They're a little edgelordy for me, but yes. No lawyers present for sure. Let's see. The next book is Borderlands and Beyond. Yeah, there you go. So that's already happening. It's just show what you know first. So the Infernals invade at 612 AR because Wicked Ways, which is one of the last books on the timeline prior to the Infernal invasion, takes place over the course of 611 AR. The longest night on 611 AR is when the Old Witch of Kador opens the gate to let all of the Grimkin through. Although there had already been Grimkin here and there, this is like letting more of them through. Grimkin are part of how the people of the Iron Kingdoms and the Wilds were able to even defeat the Infernals at all. But again, great cost. So 5 years have passed since then. So really, the Requiem book is taking place at like 617 AR, which is after Rebellion. And if you did get the book, there's, again, a GM guide with this nice timeline that goes back 10,000+ years BR, before Rebellion, to current day. So you've got a really vast timeline to know where we're at. Wait, I zoned in for a minute. IK is 5e compatible? How did I miss that? So yes, the Kickstarter that they put out last year for the Iron Kingdoms Requiem is a specifically 5th edition rule set for Iron Kingdoms. So they redid it to make it just work with 5th edition. So if you know how to play Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, then you get Requiem, and it's just a like a module for it. So that was actually how it was marketed initially too. Any mention of D&D makes me think of Joe Manganiello. I never know how to say his name. All I know is that boy's bit. Ender, I've only glossed over the lore for Requiem. It wasn't bad, but I wish there was more. So there's a few points that I kind of raised my eyebrows at, I guess, a few times. Yes, Flo's working her dry brush magic. I assume that's what they're commenting on. You dry brushing?
I wasn't reading any of it, so. Yes.
But are you dry brushing?
Yes, I am.
See? There you go. Joe's a great dude. I chatted with him at Wise booth in 19. He's working to get some awesome things into the movie. Well, that's pretty cool. So yes, in case anybody didn't know, Iron Kingdoms Requiem is 5th edition compatible, so if you've ever played 5th edition and you're curious about it, super easy. All you have to do is read some new lore. So all of the Infernalists, prior to the Infernal Invasion, there were people who made deals with the Infernals. Those were known as the Nanocrian Order. And that order still persists today into Requiem, because the Infernals were beaten back, but they weren't utterly destroyed or anything. So there's still a threat of Infernals in the world of Requiem. Let's see. The original Iron Kingdoms RPG, before there was ever a miniature game, was 3rd edition D&D. Yeah, that's right. It was on the D20 system. It was the Witchfire trilogy, which came out in 2000, I want to say. Before I was playing, for sure. So, and then 2012, they had their own invented rule set for the Iron Kingdoms world, which was a 2d6 system, which I really enjoyed. And when the show is out that shows you the Iron Kingdoms RPG, it's in that rule set. And now it's 5th edition. So yeah, they did start in the D&D world, and they've just kind of circled back around to it. Yeah, for sure. Check it out. Maybe the next time we might be in the same vicinity, we could have like a little one-shot or something. Let's see, War Budgies. There were people who made deals with the Infernals. These people were known as idiots. Right? Now, yeah, it's really stupid because, one, you're a marked soul. For the game purposes, anybody who made a deal with the Infernal, their soul is owned completely by the Infernals. So it's just a matter of having maybe a better life in the, in Cain, in the living world. But there's no question about there being an afterlife when you live on Cain. So that you're like, oh, well, just destroy my soul, that's fine, like, is a really weird deal to make. But hold on. See. Oh yeah, Joe is also Deathstroke, the greatest DC anti-hero. I am biased. Fair enough, Paul. Let's see, CJ. I didn't know that either, Jeremy. I need to hunt down some of those books. I have a ton of 3rd edition D&D stuff. Oh yeah. So you can look it up under the Witchfire trilogy, which they actually retooled in in Requiem. So you can play the Witchfire trilogy again with all of the new stuff. Yeah, you can download the maps for it. And somewhere in here is the Witchfire deal. So you can have that adventure again. One of the weird things that I noticed, which kind of led to some questions about the writing, I don't know. Let me know what you think of it. I don't know if it sounds as weird to you guys as it does to me, but they talk about the Church of Morrow putting forth a proclamation that we all must get along, and so there was this huge push for blanket religious acceptance. So, you know, Manoth and Morrow overall probably have enough overlap that maybe that's not the worst thing. I mean, there's a little bit of question of who to worship, because obviously Manoth wants to be worshipped completely, and Morrow is more of a self-realization kind of religion. Then there's Thamarites, who are largely necromancers. I'm not really sure how they made that work. And then, of course, the cult of Ceres, the Ceresists, are what they are. So, basically, the Church of Morrow printed the Coexist bumper and, like, just started slapping that on everything. And the claim is that because of that, there has been a lot of developments in Mechanica and rebuilding everything because everyone decided to get along. Now, you read enough world history on Earth, and that doesn't seem to really work out that way. I thought it was really weird. Does it sound weird to you guys, or does that seem fine? Because, I don't know. I couldn't help but just raise my eyebrows at that one. Let's see, war budgets. We have loads of room for new converts and that giant pyre on your left. That'd be fun. We're working on getting the store set up for live streams. If you're ever a guest at GenghisCon again, I think I could help set up a one-shot stream if you wanted. I'm on the staff now. Ooh, I did do a one-shot campaign of the Iron Kingdoms the last time I was there, and that was really fun. In fact, I got to play with the guys from Warlord Games, who were super, super nice, and who are offering some prize support for Valhalla this year, so shout out to them. They're pretty cool dudes. That's Bolt Action and Conflict 47, if you are not familiar. All hail the Dragon Father. Yes, they even go along with Crix, because when you read the Henchhold Scrolls, Asphyxius is there speaking in Shakespearean, bantering with the Infernals and fighting them, and just everybody fights together. It was interesting. Austin, after a global conflict, people tend to get tired of that stuff, and please just tolerate each other message tends to work out for a while. But necromancy, I feel like there's still lines. Like, again, Morrow Manoth, okay. Morrow Ceres, sure. Thamarites. They literally do all the evil things. Just all of them. They're not that different from Crix, honestly. So, even the book says, like, oh, it's a tenuous, uneasy alliance or whatever, but I just have a hard time seeing the Church of Morrow just say that openly, like, all right, guys, we're all gonna get along, because you're kind of condoning some really bad acts at that point. Praise Ceres. There you go. War has a tendency of pushing technology at a very great rate. Very true. This is a lot of building back, though, because this is all post-war. So, Khador has had to do some rebuilding. They're dealing with a bunch of internal conflict. Signar has built back the most. They remain the most technologically advanced of any of the Iron Kingdoms, which was the case before as well. And they have all kinds of intellectual minds that come in and help push the technology. They will get along until the population grows again. Maybe. I think the religious intrigue was one of the best parts of the scenario. Yeah. He's not the Messiah. He's a very naughty boy. Let's see, War Budgies. Can we take a moment to respect Karchev's arrival to Henchhold as the greatest entrance in lore? Oh, like coming down like a meteor? Yeah, that was actually pretty amazing. I still don't understand how he didn't end up cleaving Midwinter in twain, but whatever. Asphyxius was really eloquent until he got his face caved in. It was. It was interesting. Andrew, what's up, all? I have a bit of a cough from a ticklish throat. Is that COVID? Let's see, Thomas. Well, back to work. Good night, all. Good night, Thomas. Appreciate you being here. It's weird, but you know, please accept it. Yeah, I guess that's kind of what they're asking, huh? Awesome job. Warlord's doing a great job with their historical stuff. Got a buddy out here who got their high school to run a historical war game group off of exclusively Warlord IPs. Or IP. Yeah, wow. That's awesome. No, they seem really good at being involved in the community, and again, they're super nice. Still have a really awesome pen they gave me. It just writes beautifully. What about that thing with Durant? Okay, so good night, Alfonso. Appreciate you hanging out for a bit. So Tristan Durant, one of the warcasters for Protectorate of Menoth, led a pilgrimage, a bunch of people to exit the Protectorate and relocated everybody to the continent of Zu. So they actually have established a colony on Zu and are over there now. Some of them went through the Henhold Gate into space, and a bunch of them went and settled on the continent of Zu, which has left the Protectorate of Menoth largely empty, except for just some of the old guard who are there having their normal ceremonies and kind of, I mean, it's kind of just a skeleton crew now of individuals, and some people from Emir who are still there. I think the new continent is New Emir, is what I want to say it's called. So, like, Tristan Durant, they're kind of, in my view, they're using that as a reason to refresh the faith of Menoth, because the Protectorate was a very strong theocracy, and by the time the Henhold Scrolls came about, it was riddled with corruption and a lot of seeking power. Fiora was just pure evil, and there was a lot of problems with it, and they were torturing people, and just, like, they kind of were getting way too in the realm of irredeemable. And so I think the idea was to take Tristan Durant and relocate the peoples of the Protectorate of Menoth to give them a more, like, what is it, like a softer approach on the faith of Menoth without it being just so crazy, burn the heretic, you know, zealotry that they had in the Protectorate. That's my theory on it. Let's see, there are some really cool ghost town type adventure hooks in the old Protectorate book. Yes, for sure. No, and they do talk about that. Like, there are you can just decide really whatever towns you want to send your group into, deep into the Protectorate. There's weird creatures there now, plus like old citizens that just haven't left. Maybe some that may not have known exactly what was going on. It's not like there's a paper that gets circulated so easily. So there could be people who just didn't even know what all happened. Hi, Ishab. Well, been too long since I caught one of your online chats. Hoping you, your buddy, and all are doing great. So far, so good. Rothian Fairmoon, welcome. Let's see, Andrew, I thought you said Zool, to which I was going to say, there is no Menoth, only Zool. No, Zoo, Z-U, not Zool. Although I am looking forward to the new Ghostbusters movie. I'm all in. I've decided. Praise Cirrus. Yes. Well, Cirrus, I don't know how involved Cirrus is going to be in people's day-to-day lives if she opened that portal for Henhold and people chose to stay. Like, all of the Trollkin decided to stay. And obviously there were a bunch of citizens of Imran who stayed. So I don't know if Cirrus is like, well, you're on your own then, or not. Let's see, it was riddled with corruption and Fiora, and ambition and Fiora, and you see what we're getting at. Yeah, there's a lot of problems. So I think they did kind of want to start fresh and maybe not make the religion of Menoth so toxic. Oh, when will you ever open that battle board box up to check it out? Oh, I know, dude. Although that might be sooner than you think, because there's some really cool news coming at the end of the month, so I will get back to you on that. But it's good to see you, Sammy. I didn't want the Protectorate to go, though. Well, and they left a ghost town of some people still there, so whether or not we see two factions of the Protectorate rise up with a very strict following, the zealot side of Menoth and then the more passive side of it, that is likely. They definitely left their options open. Go to Menoth and find the old guy telling you to get off his lawn. Just watch Squid Game. Yeah, I keep hearing good things about this TV series, or this Netflix series, Squid Game. Are you familiar with it?
I haven't seen it.
And neither have I, but you've heard about it at this point, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, how can you not have? I haven't heard any spoilers, just heard of it, because I'm really good at avoiding spoilers.
Yeah. So, get around to watching it at some point. But I have already had it recommended to me multiple times. Let's see, Agent 47, your mission today is to open beer and enjoy it. Hey, Kahneman. Welcome to the chat. Daryl. It's just about every Warcaster. Yes. Reminder, no Venom 2 talk, Miranda. See it in a week tomorrow. Okay. Orthodox Menoth versus Catholic Menoth. It'd probably be like secular Menoth versus Orthodox. Or maybe Catholic. That part I'm not too clear on, because they would be, what are you, apostate if you say you follow the religion but you kind of don't, and there's disagreement on the interpretation. Did they clear up what happened in the Krios Fiora showdown at the end of Hengehold's Scrolls? Well, there ain't no Fiora mentioned in the books, so I'm kind of thinking she's gone. Let me double check. Huh.
Can I borrow the glue?
Oh no, did something break? Oh no.
I broke the leaves off.
Sadness. So let me just...
Now it's working.
Oh, got all happy there. Yeah, there's no mention of Fiora in the book, so I think she's dead. That would be my assessment of that. Krios. Although there's not really any mention of Krios either, to be fair. So, we watched it. It's basically Fall Guys. Oh man. Alright. I'll check it out. Let's see, Rothan. I heard a lot of tabletop gamers are getting into paperboard terrain and other likewise terrain instead of the usual sculpted terrain pieces. You're talking, paperboard. So I am not too familiar with that. I know there was the MDF stuff. So you look at like Death Ray Designs and companies like that where you can get these flat kits, which make it very easy to ship, and you just assemble your building. And with some work, you can make them look really, really nice. Like, they do better, I think, for sci-fi terrain. I could see Infinity being super into the paper terrain, like plastic card almost, because the Rumble on Route 66, when we've had that tournament here, those tables are just gorgeous, and I think a lot of it ends up being that lightweight terrain. Now, that said, I have a 3D printer, and 3D printed terrain is great. I love it because it is durable, very, very durable, and so you paint it up and you're kind of good to go. Now, I guess the paper side of it, you can have the colors all printed on there, so it's just a matter of which way you want to go.
I hear about that, and it just makes me think of paper dolls.
Yeah, but I feel like that leans really well, again, into sci-fi terrain. Whereas, if you're playing Iron Kingdoms, and you have this more gritty world, I guess, where things are broken down and there's ruins and stuff like that, I feel like 3D terrain pieces are going to be 3D printed terrain pieces or built pieces are all really nice. Grimskull, whenever I lose motivation to paint my figures, I watch your videos and somehow get interest again. Aw, thank you. One of my favorite compliments I've gotten in a while. Let's see. I just want Pope fights with Minna. Well, I mean, you kind of had that with Fiora and Krios. Melinda, gruesome but quite good. We enjoyed the subtitled version. The dubs were pretty bad. Ender, I want my High Art Krios, and they didn't give me that. Yeah, a lot of that whole structure fell apart, I think, after Hingehold. CJ, I just heard about it, and it sounds like the most viewed series on Netflix. History, if the meme I saw was true. Yeah, I think I saw what you're talking about, where the guy who made the Squid Game had tried to sell it for like 10 years ago and was rejected and was really poor and all that, and then it finally got picked up because someone actually probably looked at it, or the timing was right, because a lot of it is like timing when it comes to having an audience. So, see? Nathaniel, good morning. 4 a.m. from Germany. Wow, good morning to you. Thanks for hanging out. She's in the Riot Quest stuff. Yeah, but Riot Quest is alternate universe. Riot Quest Fiora has taken an Army of Darkness path. Oh my. Konaman, Miranda, I hope you and your friend there have the heavens bless you. Ooh, me too. Thank you.
I'm cursed.
Rothian, are you talking about like printed and mounted to foam core? Let's see. I hope you are doing awesome as well, good sir. Let's see, what else has been happening? So there's that big major religious acceptance. Now, from an adventure hook standpoint, if you're running games, I could definitely see there being lots and lots of conflict there. Even if the law of the land is you have to tolerate thy necromancing neighbor, I don't know that necessarily people are going to be taking those rules to heart. The Iron Kingdoms is a lot more of a wild land, and laws are only as good as the ability to enforce them. So depending on where you're at, I could definitely see people just not really putting up with that. CJ, the MDF stuff I love. TT Combat, been investing heavily in the Streets of Venice and Western stuff for Malifaux. Looks beautiful on the board. Ooh, nice. Ooh. Wait, I almost forgot. They didn't do anything with Ios, did they? Okay, that was the same meme. So Ios has just been in complete isolation. Like, you don't really get more information from the IKRPG, from Requiem, that you do in the Hengehold School, in the Hengehold Scrolls. Goodness. Other than a bunch of Iosians have gone back to the woods. There's a bunch of soulless guarding those woods. People haven't really seen non-soulless Iosians. And you can tell an Iosian is soulless because their eyes are all like inky black and they have no emotion. Let's see. It appears that they now control the Bloodstone Marches. There isn't a whole lot that I really got there other than there's a bunch of creatures there. Of course, from the Hengehold Scrolls, Ios and the Scorn worked together. There was some betrayal. And now we haven't really seen hide nor hair of the Scorn. The Rule Folk are copacetic, you know. They're doing. Let's see here. So, final days of the claiming, the realm of Ios closed its borders completely. There hasn't been any news there. There's still the Glimmerwood doing its thing, which just has a bunch of like Grimkin and stuff in it. It's kind of a weird place that you get lost in, and the forests of Ios kind of choose whether or not to let you in. If you saw Shang-Chi, it's kind of like that, except with less, excitement. Yeah, they don't really, I mean, there's not a lot going on there. The Twilight Gate is all twisted and mangled because there was some sort of massacre that happened there. And I believe the Twilight Gate is from the Bloodstone Marches into Ios, from that side, which is like the south side of Ios. And whatever massacre happened there has actually twisted the foliage there. So trees and stuff are growing in a weird twisted and mangled way. And it's kind of like a cursed land. Let's catch up a little bit on the chat. Let's see, Miranda, you haven't gone to see my new family member. If you're good, you'll see the video about ribs. Okay. Andrew, today I learned that there's such thing as vegan beer. Today I also learned they put fish in some beer. That sounds horrible. But I don't drink beer, so.
Yeah.
CJ, 3D printers, I haven't had a chance to mess with yet. I don't know how far they've come since I first looked into it back around since we met.
A decent way.
Yeah, for sure. The resins have gone a long way. And then the filament printers are really good for structural stuff. Like, we do a lot of prototyping, and so it's really great for that. But, like, where Flo's working on this 3D printed model of the little bug from Hollow Knight, that is a completely resin 3D printed model. How close can you get to the camera on that? Like, and stay in focus. Because it's very smooth. You don't see print lines or anything on this. It just is so cute. Oh, and the detail. I mean, look at the filigree in the bench there. It's just, and show the stop, or the little light post there too. You can see the detail and all of that. And it just comes out that way. So, super pretty. So yeah.
By the way, I think I'm done with this, so.
Oh, you're already done?
Yeah.
You have like 40 minutes left.
Well, I mean, this wasn't a very hard thing to paint.
Is he mostly dry brushed?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see now. Couldn't sleep. My dog's a little under the weather and he vomited on the carpet an hour ago. Oh no, poor little puppy. I hope he's okay. More budgies. Got a crash gang. We'll post pics of the Riot Quest gang on the stream post. Yay! Thank you.
Bye-bye.
CJ. Paper stuff actually can look really good if you take your time with it. Cut it out with a straight edge, not scissors. Glue it to the foam core. Rabbit the joints like you would a wood project. Love the Dwarf Boys. It's quite vague, non-specific lore. Yeah, and part of it, I mean, one, it could be laziness, but it could also be just giving room for the GMs to put in what they want. CJ then run a thin line of paint along the seams to hide the joints. Yeah. What's getting painted on screen? Well, I feel like we answered that question. Let's see, Bills. Iron Kingdoms, Borderlands and Beyond will launch on Tuesday, October 12th, and will run through Thursday, October 28th. It's going to be a Kickstarter thing. Ooh. What day is the 12th? Tuesday, right. Okay, well, I guess I'll be one of the first backers on that. Let's see. So they killed off the Scorn because that was the group of players that got angry and made Privateer shut down the forums. I don't know about that. The forums had problems before that. All beer is vegan unless the strange people put meat in it. I don't know. Is the use of yeast considered cruel? Nicholas Tovar, I may have missed this, but what brand of 3D printer do you have? I want to get into 3D printing. I'm still debating which brand to purchase.
Are you talking resin or filament?
Yeah, that's a good question. So for the miniature that Flo is painting, that was off a resin. What was that?
Anycubic.
That was the Anycubic Photon?
Yes.
Yeah, and that was a 4K, but they have a 6K, I think, that's coming out as well. And then
yeah, we'll probably end up with that one.
And then I have got the Creality 10, SR10, which has the large print bed, but it's a filament printer. And then I've got an Ender that I haven't even unpacked. Pretty sure the Scorner's still around. I think so, but it's not clear. Let me check the stuff there. The Clash of the Scorn. So the Twilight Gate. Scorn poured through the gates from the Bloodstone marches to the south. And then the Twilight Gate still bears the scars from that. So yeah, a massive, massive battle that happened. It says what little vegetation has grown there is sickly and strange. And then it is believed that the Iosians turned upon the Scorn when the danger was over and slew them without mercy. So there are apparently the ghosts of slain Scorn at the Twilight's Gate, including feral spirits, tormented war beasts as well. So it's a very dangerous place. And beyond that, they haven't fully filled it in. I mean, yeah, there may still be Scorn around, but it does seem like they are diminished significantly as a race. Let's say that. Let's see. Great, as if I didn't have enough tools and equipment. Now you're inspiring me to add this to my shop. Oh, they're super great. Like, I definitely would recommend a 3D printer. They're very, you can get a lot done with them, especially for making props and things like that. Their domain is huge, much bigger than just the deserts east of Ios. That's true. That part doesn't seem to be explored yet, so if they're doing the, you know, Borderlands and all that with the new Kickstarter launch, then we may see more. We'll probably see more of the Scorn there. Because you're right, like, why would the whole race of all of them move into Ios? Probably not. Yeast is not an animal, it's a plant. Yeah. I guess vegans are fine being cruel to plants. Let's see here. Coexistence is a fantastic fantasy idea for D&D. I mean, kind of, but you need conflict of some sort. That's how you have adventures. Let's see. Kahneman, when I worked at Midway, a dude there was vegetarian and wouldn't drink certain beers. They had elements of fish scales, apparently. Isn't traveling outside of any city in the Iron Kingdom dangerous? Well, heck, depending on the city you're in, just being in the city is perfectly dangerous. Corvus is known for having all kinds, let's say, including the vast Undercity. But yeah, once you're outside of the Iron Kingdoms, like, the Iron Kingdoms as a civilization, which is all of the kingdoms that have embraced Mechanica and just the idea of civilization, really do live right next to and on top of the wilds. And the wilds are very, very powerful. There's a lot of magical creatures there. There's obviously, like, trolls and the Gatormen and the Pharaoh and the Grimkin. And so they're all there kind of competing for that space. So yeah, it does end up being very, very dangerous. It's like, I don't think traveling from one place to another is even as safe as going on a safari, which I know there can be risks there, but this would be where everything is more inclined to want to kill you and go out of their way to kill you, as far as I can tell. I mean, even the forests can be specifically dangerous. Like, the Thornwood Forest is filled with all sorts of dangers. The Glimmerwood, the trees will attack you. Ios, the trees will, like, the forest will change pathways and get you lost. So everything has this enchantment to it that makes it really hard. So yeah, I mean, that the Iron Kingdoms exist is sort of just to create any sort of structure for civilization to survive in. Of course, you've got, you know, wild humans too, like the Tharn, and they're running around in, say, the Thornwood Forest or the Scarsfeld Mountains or any of that, just being incredibly scary to deal with too. And raids happen in either direction. I mean, the Tharn are known for raiding towns. Yeah, they put it in to kill the cloudiness / the yeast. Oh. Learning so much about beer. Nicholas Tovar. Scorn will be back in a big way, I hope. Maybe. I wonder if they will ever figure out their afterlife. Because prior to Requiem, because I don't know what's happened with them now, the Scorn had no afterlife. They just went into the void after dying. And so they kind of took an Egyptian approach, and they had these, well, like canoptic jars to keep your souls in if you were a, you know, strong enough hero, worthy of, you know, noteworthy enough to warrant the trouble of having your soul kept. So if after what happened with the claiming, if the gods of Ios have possibly, like, recovered in any way, then maybe the Scorn have an afterlife. That would change their culture pretty fundamentally. So, yeah. Hail Cephalix. That's just Crix. Andrew, always thought it funny. Nobody really made an effort to talk War Machine lore, Wormahordes lore. Who is the major kill of Wormahordes? The major kill? Not sure what you mean by that. Like, who is the big scary for what? Well, I guess he's from 40K. Well, 40K is definitely a different kind of lore. Especially with things like Primarchs. Because Warcasters are high-fiving, but they're not Primarchs. If you're in Five Fingers, you'd probably be better off literally being anywhere else. Depends on where in Five Fingers. I mean, King Baird runs around doing whatever he wants over there. I mean, he's the king, but yeah, you know what I mean. Forest is a maze by nature. Fair enough. Evil Forest. Brother, get the flamer. The heavy flamer. Oh, man. Oh, man. The 40K solutions to these Iron Kingdom's problems. They say it's a different void than the one the Eternals are from. And probably. I mean, I don't know that was ever fully fleshed out. It was just, they don't get an afterlife. And the Infernals lived in some place outside of time and space and called the Void. Oh, Major Kills the Australian lore guy. Oh, for that, as far as a channel comparison, it would probably be Servant of Neuros or Nero. The closest. But a lot of people don't know about the Iron Kingdom's lore as much. So I'm hoping that with it being 5th edition compatible, that maybe more people will be introduced to it. Because it actually is a really cool lore. And you don't get as much a sense of that from just playing the tabletop game. But it's 8:30, so I think it's time for a progress check. Which is to say that Flo's already done with her piece, but let's get a little focus on it again anyway, just to see where it's at. What are you guys working on? Where are you at with your progress? Ooh. So the stone cobblestone that he's on, it's like blue and gray, it looks like, and purple?
Blue purple.
Blue purple. Ooh, I like the color grade you've got going on there. He's so cute. What are you going to do with him?
I haven't decided yet. So far, he's going to be just a little display piece.
Okay. Very nice. What are you working on now?
It's just correcting the handles on a few of the Necrons I had worked on before. But I've got a ton of Necrons with me, so...
Oh, yeah, you do have quite a lot of them. That's true. That's very true.
I'm just correcting these guys.
Nathaniel 40K has solutions for all problems, none of them peaceful. Exterminatus for sure. Ender looks adorable. Ah, it does. And then meanwhile, we've got these boys who are coming along. Time to crash. Night all. Hail Death Jack. Nice. See you later, Austin.
Finished all those guys, started working on these guys.
Oof, those weapons. God, look at their skinny little legs. I do so enjoy those miniatures. Look at this. Tonight I'm working on Raging Heroes Flying Witches. Ooh. CJ still converting these skulls I got at Walmart into stone pillars. Converting skulls from Walmart into stone pillars. Like, are you embedding them into the stone pillar? And are we talking about like Halloween skull, like, you know, size of a child's skull kind of thing? Sounds fun. Alright, well, I have one other thing I was going to request before we continue talking about the lore. So, I know it's kind of random, so bear with me. But you guys are familiar with IMDb, the Internet Movie Database? Awesome, CJ. I'll have to show you some pictures of some tombstones we're working on over here. But, so the IMDb about, you know, actor resumes and where movies rank and where performers rank as well. And so I had a thought, because I'm still a gamer. And so I'm like, wait a minute. So when I look at my little rank on IMDb, it's like, I don't know, 270,000 or something crazy like that. And so I was wondering what affects that ranking. And so I was going to see if you guys just had a spare moment about having you guys go to the imdb.com website and looking me up, just doing that to see whether or not that actually moves the ranking at all, because I don't understand what all is affected by that, and I want to know. So I'll submit a link here in the chat just so you guys can, you know, check it out, and you can let me know what you think. Let me log out first. And yeah, just literally look it up. I just want to see whether or not activity on the account actually causes there to be a change in its ranking. But you can also see what else, the things I've been doing, what I've been up to, even though it's not all in there yet. Is up to? Let's see, where am I? Is it this one? Sorry, there's too many tabs open. No, it would also help if the stupid thing actually like copied. Ta-da! Click there. Just see what happens. Yes, social experiment. That's exactly what this is. I just want to know for the giggles and from my gamer mind, like, does that actually have an effect? Just click on it, look at it, and you don't have to do anything else really. I mean, you can poke around on there, but I just want to know. Let's see, just getting into the mood to run 4 RPG games this weekend. Goodness, you just go all in, don't you? Wow, kudos to that. Plunder Den, I only have my crust left to paint on my sugarcane windmill. This piece is for my plantation battle map. Wow, that sounds really pretty. Now I know how tall you are. I don't know what to do with that information. I don't know, Michael. Whatever you think you need to, I guess.
Taller than me.
Taller than Little Flo. Bills, I went and looked you up. Do you feel my eyes upon you? I don't. I don't have that level of deep, I don't know, understanding. Connection. Yeah.
Connection to the interwebs.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you very much for doing that. Just, again, totally for my own curiosity. Just didn't know if it had any bearing or impact, and these are the kind of things that are fun to know, and it's hard to know them. So, again, I appreciate you guys. I thought the same thing about your height. It's a thing. I don't know. You go up there as an actor. They want to know, like, everything about you, I guess. So, it's weird. So, any crazy games like Werewolf at Valhalla this year? And if so, how do I opt out? Yes, we are doing Werewolf. And if you really don't want to be involved in it, you don't have to. Richard, hey, man! Yeah. I look forward to seeing you in a couple weeks, too. Oh, just pulled me up on the name on the app. Wow. You guys are so on top of it. Thank you, CJ. Appreciate it. Hey, Richard, are you bringing your squigs this year? Okay, so what else is happening? So 5 years has passed, again, in the Iron Kingdom's world. So King Julius has married someone else, and he has, like, 2 kids now. Ain Vanar, the Empress of Kador. Vlad died in the Henchhold Scrolls during that whole claiming battle, but he did have a son with her, with Ain Vanar, although apparently there is also some other child that Vlad had with someone else who went through the gate at Henchhold, so she would be part of Warcaster and not really part of the Iron Kingdom's world anyway. The Queen of Lail, Caitlin de la Martin, she ended up marrying, like, King Baird's grandson, I want to say, from Ord, and they live apart. So, super unhealthy relationship there, but, you know, Ord now protects Lail instead of it being Signar. Got a cool surname? Really? Thank you. That's usually not what I'm told. Mostly it's just no one knows how to pronounce it. Nice, you got the Valhalla episode on there. That was Dave, actually. he has all of his stuff on there, and so because I'm attached, it puts me on there. Fun painting. My IMDb account looks like Mortal Kombat and several other Paul Anderson movies. Michael Gray, I was looking over your channel list, and the first 6 War Machine bat reps aren't there anymore. Did you take them down, or is this a YouTube glitch? I have not taken them down. Yeah, definitely a YouTube glitch. I'll have to have a look at that. Hey, Sarah Harmon. Yay! Look forward to seeing your orcs. Rating says 24059. That's weird. Definitely not what it shows for me. Do you have a pro account? Like, are you signed in there, or are you just seeing it as a general ranking? I'm confused now.
You're like, I'm already a pro member.
I know, but I have to
sign back in.
Yeah, which means I have to remember my sign in, which is actually kind of difficult. Never that well prepared. Take a look at that. Yeah, because you can't see. Oh, I'm up by 24,000, but I'm not at 24,000. That's the difference. So, I guess just so you know. But thank you very much for going ahead and doing that. I super appreciate it. And let me get logged back in with my account and see where I'm at. Now it won't update for at least a day anyway, so whatever, I have to wait. But thank you. What else have we got here? Yeah, it shows up by that for me too. Let's see. Oh, just on the general ranking, don't have an account. No, yeah, no worries, it's all good. Yay, it'll be super fun to see you, Rich. Need to figure out how to create a page. I've lost lots of opportunities documenting stuff I've worked on or appeared in. Well, if you get in, you can reach out. We can sort of help you out. We've messed around with IMDb a lot when we had to do our short film earlier in the year, and all the other stuff that we're working on now. So I never knew how tall you were, Miranda, but I'm the exact same height as Ashley, so I knew from pics. Let's see, just went to your YouTube videos and saw your first 6 battle reps are still there. That's super weird. Assembling models while I listen to you. Yes. What things to work on before Valhalla? Well, I've been doing all the accounting, paperwork, paying for things stuff, so that all is in order. Now I need to actually work on my gaming stuff, but I've been so in love with the Iron Kingdom stuff. Crick seems about the same, actually, from what I could see in the Iron Kingdoms from Requiem. Like, they're kind of off on their island. Doesn't seem like there's been a lot of attacks on Signar, which is unusual. Normally there's a lot of piracy in those seas, so they've been quiet, but I'm sure that's just everybody took 5 years to recover like their wounds, as someone mentioned, and see what happens. But they'll be back. I'm sure there's like still Cephalix activity in the Thornwood Forest and all these other little points where Crix has burrowed its way deep into Western Imran. Now, the question I do wonder is whether or not Crix has any presence on the other continent zoo where Tristan Durant is. So, would be worth noting. But I don't know. So, some cool stuff. So that's kind of some basics. But if you do end up getting the Iron Kingdoms Requiem books, especially if you get the GM guide, definitely worth checking out the GM guide, because there's a little kit, and you get the months of the year for Rulik, as well as what everybody normally uses, the timeline of events, which is really nice, points of interest, how Law and Order works, the languages of Western Emerald, the coins of Western Emerald. I'm not super confident that like an amazing economic system's been figured out. The slang of the Iron Kingdoms? What's that? Page 58. Let's explore the slang of the Iron Kingdoms. Oh, this isn't what I thought it was. Oh no, there it is. The slang of the Iron Kingdoms. Dance on the fine rug, a verb called to an official's office for investigation or discipline. Dead, adverb for very. Dodgy, we all know. Dreg, also one. Drink the queen's tea, verb often disparaging. To be poisoned, a reference to the Cadoran Empress Ein Vannar. Okay, this is pretty fun. Oh man. Grey hat, noun, often disparaging, a Cadoran, especially a member of the Winter Guard. Oh man, there's so many little things here. A creel pint, especially a gallon, especially when referring to alcohol. So a creel pint is a gallon of alcohol. How fun. So how come we folks can't like you on the IMDb thing? Because I think if you're signed into IMDb, depending on what level of user access you have, you can review things that I'm in, but I don't think you can just follow people's pages necessarily. That I know of. Signar not being under attack is weird AF. Not being under attack by critics, although yes, still true. And Khador hasn't really acted on any of the kingdoms in a while, but it's very much mentioned that that is unlikely to last. So when your IMDb rating goes way up and you become a huge star, will you be here with us every other week? I would hope to be here more often, to be honest. Because this is oddly therapeutic for me. Getting late, gonna call it a night. Thanks, Mac Attack. Appreciate you hanging out. Wow, that's sick. I didn't know we had a slang section. Dude, it's really cool. So yeah, it's the IKRPG GM kit. And there's just some fun phrases in here. Let's see. Choose cinders to have a steam engine working overtime, especially in reference to a laborjack. Candle, noun, a member of the temple flame guard. So we can call war budgies a candle. The next time he's in chat, we can, confuse him. Chuffed, which means very pleased. Let's see, blow smoke, brag, so that crosses over perfectly fine. Blag, B-L-A-G, a verb, to steal. Blag. Blag, blag, blag. That's just a funny word. Black diamonds, coal, especially from an official source, such as the government. A belch, which is beer, often of low quality. Do you guys know anything about that? Is that like an actual phrase people use? This is super fun. Let's see. This Jack sure has been chewing some cinders, for real. Or, we got a big order tomorrow. The Jacks are going to be chewing cinders tonight. Can favorite your IMDb, which is like liking it, right? But I have an account. But I have to have an account, which I don't. That's okay. I just wanted to see what happens if people just look me up at all. So, that you did that, I super appreciate it. Nobody's obligated to, have an actual sign-in for that. Well, send me an email, Ender. I might be able to hook you up. Just email me at wargamergirl@gmail.com, and because I have it, and this is a pretty short little section I could send you. It's really fun. So yeah, bunch of different individuals of interest as well in the guide. What else have we got in here? Actually, I haven't fully looked it all over. Editable character sheet, obviously the high resolution map, which is absolutely worth having because then you can zoom in and really look around at everything. Monsternomicon, also amazing and very useful because Monsternomicons are super fun. And you have all these notes from Professor Pendrake. Let's see. Oh, there you go. The Legend of the Witchfire also is in here. So, with the new edition, people could play the Legend of the Witchfire. Pretty nice. Adventure card. Adventure cards. Huh. Okay, so there's some cards with just kind of the Monsternomicon essentially in here. But that's pretty cool. Spectre of Amadamos. Oh my. So yeah, lots and lots of stuff here. But we can start wrapping it up here. You're gonna be super busy at Valhalla this year, or is it another one of those smaller ones with lots of help? No, it looks like we're gonna have a fairly full group this year, but I have my peoples, so theoretically I should be able to hang out and play games. And Dan's coming! Guys, Dan is actually coming to Valhalla this year. He's sneaking out of the country and making it to Utah, so I've been very pleased with this news. So, which means, you know, we should be spending a lot of time in the game room, I would think. Here, I will type it. What'd I do?
I don't know. What did you do?
I don't know. I clicked the wrong silly thing. Just email me here. Yes, Dan. So, if I do live stream, he'll probably be on there. On Flo's camera, is that Citadel Zurius purple I see?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm like, good question. No clue. It just looked like a right color.
It's Paul. The boy knows his purples. Night, Miranda. Night, all. Be well. Be safe. Thank you. See, have you had a proper training as actress, or is that more of a hobby? No. No, nothing official. But done it for a long time. Dan is the best. Dan is there. He will be. He will be. So excited. So, that's that. But
so the party's coming.
The party's coming. I have to see what miniatures he's bringing. I'm assuming he's bringing War Machine, but we'll see. I'll just have to bring enough. He can play my Kador. He's gonna bring Signar. And Signar had a bunch of changes. I have to go figure out what all those new rules are. Dang CID. Oh well, whatever. Anyway. So yeah, I guess keep an eye out for the new IKRPG launching on the 12th, because that is going to cover the expanded world of Imran. So I'll probably post about it. I know my purples indeed. But I think we're here at about the end of the night. You want to show off your scarabs before we head out?
Yeah.
And a final progress check to all of you guys. There we go. A little bit better. A little bit.
There we go.
Ooh.
They're not done.
They're looking pretty good. Are they gonna have, well,
blue.
What? Are there blue carapaces?
Yeah. So it's got the base color of the blue, but I haven't added anything else yet.
Wow. So clean looking. But you know that Hollow Knight model looks just as clean as these.
I'm gonna bring them up one more time if you like.
Yeah. One more time. Let's look at the Hollow Knight one more time, because he's so cute. So, anyway, that's just me being softy for that particular game.
It's a great game.
Oh, yeah, on the back side of it, too. Oof, that detail. Look at those little guys. I know. They seem super fun. So, yeah. So, I will be reading more through the Iron Kingdoms RPG. As far as I had gotten, it was just through all the lore and classes, I think. And then, when they were talking about the different classes you can be, they were, like, talking about where to put your skill check levels and stuff. And I was like, oh, I should probably own the the player handbook for 5th edition, huh? So, I had to go do that this week. Let's see. Most excellent and clean, nice paint job, says Nicholas. Jeremy, I'm almost done. I should be in like 5 minutes with my one guy I've been working on. Paul, I bought Hollow Knight because you suggested it. It's such a good game.
It's really good.
And eventually Silk Song should be releasing, so I'm sure that one will be amazing too. All right, we're going to call it a night here. Thank you to everybody who stuck around for the chat and listened to me babble on while Dear Flo actually like worked and painted. And yeah,
I'm just putting all the work in now.
I'll probably talk to you guys next month, but I will try to post some stuff from Valhalla. It'll just depend on what the Wi-Fi situation is going to be like.
It's not normally very good. So.
It's not normally amazing, that's true. Reminds me of an anime character which looks similar to the Hollow Knight. Plunder Den, not quite down. Been filming and painting at the same time. I will post you a pic of my progress on your Facebook page. Yay! Night, everyone. All right, you have a great night, and we will see you not in 2 weeks, because, again, I'll be in Utah, but after that. So I'll post about it. Have a great night.
Bye-bye.